So let's go ahead and do example 1 for the Wilcoxon sign rank test. So there's a study that measured metal content in the wood of 13 poplar clones growing in a polluted area. So they did it once in August and once in November. So what they're looking at is in polluted areas, how they're looking at trees basically to see how polluted they are. And the pollution they're looking at is concentration of aluminum. So it's in micrograms of Al, which is aluminum, per grams of wood. So the results are in the table. So the clones are showing the area. So like the first one is Columbia River, Fritz Poly is the second. So those are areas. So then the August I'm going to represent as my before, because that's when we took our baseline data. And then November is my after data, and they want to calculate the differences. So if you look in August for Columbia River, the concentration of aluminum was 18.3, but in November it was 12.7. So it decreased by 5.6, and that's where I'm getting that negative 5.6. So at the 5% level of significance, is there a difference between the aluminum content in the wood between August and November? And here is your data, and this is an actual study from 2004. So here's my hypotheses. I want to know if there's a difference between the aluminum content in the wood between August and November. And again, I'm doing this because I want to find the medians, because I've already done the background on this, excuse me, and they're non-normal, and I'll show you in just a minute what I mean. Or they're non-parametric. So okay. Many times does everything for me. Got to do the difference between August and November. So remember, you start with the after first, because I only want to do the after, then the before to find the difference. Okay. So I'm going to go here. And then my first step is I want to look at the distribution of the histogram. Okay. So let's do this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to, here's my data in here. So I'm going to go up to stats. I'm going to make a graph. I'm going to do a histogram, and I'm going to do it with a fit, and I'm going to do it of August to November. So I do OK. And again, I can see that my data, it's not very normal, but the better way to check though is if I go to stats, basic stats, stats, basic stats, normality. I'm going to put in August to November. I'm going to do the Anderson-Darling, and I hit OK. And look, so when I look at that, I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint so you can see it better. I can see that it's not that great. So it wouldn't be considered normal. So I need to be aware of that one. So see how there's an outlier, and it's a smaller sample because see my sample is only 13. So that's not a huge sample, and there's some that aren't on the line and this big outlier right here, okay? So then the next thing I need to do is I need to go ahead, and like I said, I've done my data into a mini tab, so now I need to go find what I want to do. So I go to stats, non-parametrics, I'm going to go to Wilcoxon, okay? So then I'm going to do August to November, and I'm going to hit OK. Okay, and I did that really fast. Let me go back and I'm going to walk you through. Okay, so I did August to November. I do 0 because I want to keep it as 0 because I'm saying there's not a difference. And I'm going to change the alternative to not equal, and I already did that. Let me do it again. I apologize for going fast. Non-parametric, Wilcoxon. And then it's here, okay, not equal. I'm going to do this, test this one. Okay, and then on the PowerPoint, it shows me oops, sorry. So there's nothing else I really need to do for that one. Again, remember, we're just learning how to do these, so it's not a huge deal. There's no other ways I can do, like no options or anything, so then I hit OK. And look here, okay. I've got my null and my alternative where the mean equals 0. The alternative is mean doesn't equal 0. My n is 13. My Wilcoxon statistic is 75, and my p-value is 0.043, okay? So if I go back to this, I've got everything here, and you can see I have it there. So then if I conclude because 0.043 is less than or equal to 0.05, it's a true statement, and we reject our null. So there is sufficient evidence to conclude that there is a difference between aluminum content in the wood between August and November. And if I go look at it again, I can see the main difference. So something's going on. And there's other tests we can run to see it, but we're not going to do it in this test. But something is going on.